Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to an event that's certainly not every day, but it will introduce a brand that serves everyday needs. It's also no accident that we're launching on World Arthritis Awareness Day. We want to support this global initiative that brings people together to raise awareness of rheumatic and musculoskeletal diseases. Today, I'm talking to you not only as a non-executive director, but as someone living with arthritis. I want to bring two personas to the table. Firstly, my professional experience in the not-for-profit sector, and secondly, as a potential customer. I've lived with my condition for 40 years now. Apart from the pain it brings that causes sleep deprivation and prevents the ability to carry out the simplest of everyday tasks, there's also an emotional and psychological impact. Those of you who also have arthritis will no doubt have felt helpless, powerless, and vulnerable at times. Like me, you've probably also tried coping strategies. Distraction by keeping busy, trying to ignore the pain, mindfulness and breathing techniques, varying your activity levels, for me an extra large gin and tonic or accompanying bar of chocolate, or even avoiding some everyday tasks altogether. So as a consumer with arthritis, I'm simply looking for something to make living easier. The truth is I haven't found very many suitable products. Why is that? Because the majority look completely out of place in the modern home and underline the stigmas associated with disability and age that we don't want to define us. In fact, over 50% of the people who use products currently admit to hiding them around the house. People with arthritis don't want sympathy, we want empathy. We all want our condition not just to be known, but to be understood more. And we yearn for everyday tasks to get easier. There is a huge need for product innovation that will appeal to people who are feeling a little disenfranchised and underserved. That's where Arthur comes in. Talking with my non-exec hat for a moment, an ad on LinkedIn caught my eye. It wasn't the non-executive role that intrigued me, it was the name, Arthur. It made me smile, and that's not a bad start. Then I realised this was a unique offer, the first of its kind for arthritis, and capable of fixing a broken market. So I applied, and here I am. Here was a brand that not only suited my experience and skill set, but also inspired me because it has co-creation at the heart of its proposition. Its products are inspired by people with arthritis, for people with arthritis. It should be stressed that these people are not product designers per se, so Arthur has been able to integrate product design professionals into the process, and the designers have expertly mentored the entire process from insight into ideas and then right through to reality. Arthur has also created a unique ecosystem of other handpicked product brands, a leading logistics provider, motivated product designers, influential stakeholders, highly supportive retailers, and a team of passionate marketers. But the proof is in the product design itself, a perfect combination of form and function. Arthur has created some brilliant products that will move you both literally and emotionally. I would never have thought it possible to create products for arthritis that are actually desirable. At a time when so many of us feel we're losing our independence to arthritis, and when we're all spending more time in our own homes, we all need to depend on something. So my personal ambition for Arthur is for it to be depended on by the 1 in 6 of us with the condition. That would be a true measure of success. Bring it on, Arthur. I would now like to hand over to Karin, who will share how Arthur was conceived.
Thank you very much, Kim, and good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thanks to the Arthur team for giving me the time to share my thoughts. I'm very excited to be talking to you all today. In my role as Deputy Chair of Versus Arthritis, I work alongside volunteers, healthcare professionals, researchers and friends. We do everything we can to push back against arthritis. And together we'll continue to develop breakthrough treatments, to campaign relentlessly for arthritis to be seen as a priority. And we also support each other whenever we need it through the journey. But there is actually a lot more we can do. And as Kim pointed out, we know that those that live with arthritis are underserved. There's a distinct lack of innovation in the market today to make a positive emotional impact on people living with arthritis. Arthur is different, and we in Versus Arthritis power it in terms of investments and insights. In 2019, we were looking to create a contemporary brand that not only provided an innovative funding channel for us, but also injected some optimism, positivity, and emotional engagement into a community feeling underwhelmed what had been on offer before Arthur. So insight before ideas is really important to us. And Arthur's proposition impressed us from the start. It's because it's always been based on insight. Firstly, the research conducted identified that there was a lack of everyday support products to make life that little bit easier, and emotional needs weren't being met among people with arthritis. So the product development strategy was a really simple one. We wanted to create products that help meet those needs, starting with making everyday tasks easier, such as using the toilet, getting in and out of the bath, just getting in and out of your car. Arthur's products are inspired, designed, and tested with people with arthritis at every stage of the product development process. Secondly, there was a fantastic opportunity to participate in a pilot online shop, which people had a fantastic response to. It was a real-world demand test among people Versus Arthritis wanted to see served better. So we simulated a sales experience that provided us with the confidence to take this venture forward. We were overwhelmed with the reaction of people willing to engage with a range of new product concepts and a dedicated arthritis proposition. So what was also exciting was how Arthur was able to recognize and connect with a very diverse group of people whose lives could be improved. And thirdly, Arthur was really unique. There was a huge anticipation and a fantastic response and feedback from people wanting a range of products relevant for people with arthritis. So it really is a one-stop shop for easier living. And Arthur is really special to me because aside from putting profits to good use, it has been able to recognize the needs that others haven't really. And our ambition is for Arthur to become the destination for finding ideas for easier living with arthritis, not only a dependable source of high quality products, solve everyday challenges, but also somewhere that creates a sense of belonging. It's really an ecosystem of like-minded customers and contributors and people who are all committed to one goal, to defy arthritis and provide some of those everyday victories for all of us. We want to touch and benefit at least 500,000 people over the next few years, as well as their friends and family who help them out and are there by them. We want it to be recognized as a brand that makes a real difference, somewhere to share your experiences, a brand that promotes innovation and ideas so that we can all benefit from them. So thank you so much for listening. I'm very excited. And I'd now like to hand over to Bobby, who will tell us about the complete Arthur story right after this short video. Thank you.
Hello everyone, and thanks again for joining us on this momentous day. I'm so delighted to see so many people tune in, and a special welcome to our international guests from over 20 countries. Thank you all for giving up your valuable time. An unnamed social worker once said, "There isn't anyone you couldn't learn to love once you've heard their story." The truth is, Arthur isn't any one person or one person's story. Ours is a story created and contributed to by an incredibly committed group of talented and conscientious people. I'd like to take this moment to thank every one of them for their contributions. Without them, I couldn't tell the story to you today. They say a story is a well-told promise. Arthur's purpose is simply to improve everyday living for people with arthritis. And I'm told the best stories have 4 critical ingredients. So let's give it a go. Number 1, grab some attention. Arthur is a world first. We have created arthritis products that are an extension of the furniture of people's homes, and we aim to be the world's first leading arthritis products brand. Number 2, set the mood. Ours is all about optimism. It's about change. Indeed, it's about independence and dignity for people living with arthritis. And yes, it's about product innovation. Arthur represents design for better living. In some way, we are a beacon of change for Versus Arthritis. We are going to satisfy the needs for products for people with arthritis, and in doing so, we are providing a revenue stream to support Versus Arthritis continuing the amazing work that they do. We also hope to inspire a new business model where charities look to leverage their assets, solve needs, and provide new revenue streams to deliver on their missions. Number 3, appeal to the imagination. What if in 3 or 4 years' time, over 500,000 people own an Arthur product and regularly engage with our brand? What if Arthur could become the destination for improving lives for people with arthritis through products and services? Number 4, talk straight. Now, those of you who know me will know that I can relate to this one. So here goes. It was 3 years ago, against a challenging fundraising backdrop, that the venture studio Good Innovation was developing new propositions in collaboration with Versus Arthritis. A lot of attention was being paid to innovating in the creation of products and services that really added value. It was obvious there was a need for products or solutions that could credibly support the new revenue streams. The result was the creation of an exciting new business model and brand towards the end of 2019. Following that, an MD role was advertised for this new venture. I applied for the role, and after 5 or 6 detailed sessions, not only was I completely sold on Arthur's mission, I truly believed we could do something that others hadn't in the sector: fix the broken market. I was fortunate enough to get the job and started working with the team to make Arthur a reality. Throughout my career, I've always been fully committed to cutting-edge innovation, and I strongly believe in design for better living. So, from those strong foundation principles and building on the 50+ needs we've identified from our own research program, I'm pleased to announce that Arthur has now been fully realized. We've started our journey really focusing on the fundamental needs. And one of those needs identified was an easier visit to the loo. Yes, the toilet. So you could say that Arthur was influenced by nature. We further developed this proposition from the initial insights and brought it fully to life through great product design. And now our go-to-market strategy is being executed, which I'll touch on briefly later. I'm so incredibly proud of Arthur, and I've been moved by the whole co-development experience with all of our stakeholders. Arthur's ecosystem is fully geared towards improving the lives of people with arthritis. It's a unique network of stakeholders, including those helping Arthur in areas from product to marketing and design to logistics. In terms of product development, we're working hard ourselves to solve as many needs as possible. However, some of these needs are being solved by other UK inventors with brilliant product direction. We refer to them as our Love by Arthur range. For example, Keywing, who make fiddly Yale keys not so fiddly. Pivotel, who provide an easy to open solution for tablet packets. Providing a bit of luxury, the UU hot and cold water bottles that wrap around you for the ultimate in comfort. G-Hold's working from home kit is designed for comfort in holding and positioning mobile devices. Recoil's knee pads make it possible to work on your knees more comfortably in the house or the garden. Petter's range of gardening tools are designed to ensure people with arthritis can continue to do what they love in the garden. And the Wade teapot, which, looks quirky, 2 handles, have already had an amazing feedback from our community of change makers. Being able to pour tea without spillages is just so cool. For logistics, Box, one of the UK's leading e-tailers, is supporting Arthur with its world-class processing, warehousing and logistics solutions. Therefore, from London, Grove Design and NTU have worked tirelessly on the design solution for the products presented by Adam shortly. We do have a very special stakeholder. You've all heard already from Karin from Versus Arthritis, and it's true to say, without the help from Versus Arthritis, none of our business plan would have been possible. They have supported us so that we could start and follow our dream and make Arthur a reality. Alongside good innovation, they have provided the initial insights and impetus to get us on our way. I have to praise Charlotte Diver, Director of Revenue for Versus Arthritis, whose entrepreneurial approach to the collaboration has been invaluable, and I'm proud that Charlotte is Arthur's chair. Last but not least, we have tremendous marketing partners supporting our activity. Molesey, who are doing a great job over at Amazon for us. Annika Digital, supporting Arthur across a wider group of channels. Ideology have been fundamental to helping us bring this event together today. And Seesaw, really getting our message out there. It's true to say, all of our stakeholders are helping us bring Arthur to life in different ways through different channels. But I've made a personal promise to people with arthritis that all of our products will be available mainstream in places that you prefer to shop. We're working really hard on this. First and foremost, arthur.com is the destination for all our products and the center of our ecosystem, and they're available now. And we have prioritized other channels such as Amazon and eBay so that there's digital choice. Again, you can shop our range today. A little later in our presentation today, I'm delighted to say that you'll hear from Stacey MacDougall from John Lewis. Stacey will take a different view of the Arthur proposition and why they have chosen Arthur to help improve the lives of their partners. And at peak TV time, you'll be able to see us live on Ardea World TV, who at 7:30 p.m. today will run our first TV show. Just leaves me to say thank you so much for listening to me. I'll come back for the Q&A a bit later, but in the meantime, I'd like to show you a short film to showcase our flagship innovative products with Adam Vaughan, our head of design, and Nicola Hunter, our valued healthcare consultant. Thank you very much.
After 3 years of design and development and research with hundreds of people with arthritis, we're really proud to present to you the first range of Arthur products. Arthur designs products for people with arthritis, well-designed products that people want to have in their homes. They're co-developed with people with arthritis and with healthcare professionals at every step of the way.
I've been involved with Arthur as a consultant on this project since the design sprint, looking at the safety and usability of each of the different designs and trying to make sure that we come up with things that really are good for people with arthritis. The main feature of the toilet riser that will help someone with arthritis is it's much higher than a normal toilet seat, so it gives a mechanical advantage to the person's hips and knees and makes it easier for them to get on and off the toilet if they have stiffness or weakness in their muscles as a result of the arthritis.
It's designed to look like a modern contemporary toilet and slide over the top of someone's existing toilet.
From a medical professional's point of view, this product is special because first and foremost, it looks like a normal toilet when you go into the bathroom. And that's great because it'd be much more acceptable to people with arthritis to fit it than if they have to put on one of the traditional plastic raised toilet seats. And also it's safe and it's stable.
You install the toilet riser by removing your existing toilet seat, attaching the fixing bar to the toilet pan, and then sliding the toilet riser over the top of the toilet. Our research told us that a lot of existing products look like they belong in a hospital or a care home, so we've designed this specifically to fit into a contemporary home. From our research, we learnt that people with arthritis often have a challenge of getting in and out of the car because of pressure and pain on their knees and hip joints. This can be particularly bad after a long journey.
The issue people face getting in and out of the car when they've got arthritis is it's actually quite a complex movement. At the end of a long journey, they're often a bit stiff, and then they have to pivot around. And because they've got their bottom in the bucket of the car seat, their hips are lower than their knees, which means that they've got a really big movement to rise up. And if you've got stiff and painful hips and knees and weak muscles, it can be very difficult to do that pull up. So people tend to pull on the car door in order to help them pull themselves up.
The car door mate is made of two different materials. It has a rigid nylon core, which means it will withstand the forces put on it when it's put in a door hinge. And it has a soft rubber outer, which means it doesn't cause any damage to the car when it's in use.
The car door mate's design is very, very neat because what it does, it makes people who've got arthritis and are going to pull on their car door anyway, it makes them able to do so in a much safer way, so they won't trap their legs or cause an accident as they're getting out of the car. The wedge is easily popped into the hinge of the door, and then it keeps the door stable so they can use it as a grab handle, and then it's easy to remove to pop into the car for the return journey.
From our research, we realised it was very important that the car door mate was strong and durable because using it as a wedge for the door puts quite a lot of force on it. So we've tested the car door mate to 350 kilos of force, and we've done that 3,500 times to ensure it leads a long life.
From my point of view, the thing that makes this product special is it's very simple, it's very easy to use, and it makes something that people were going to do anyway, i.e. using the car door to pull up, it makes it better and safer. So that's why I think it's a special and very clever product.
Our research and insights have shown that one of the key challenges people have when using the bath if living with arthritis is stepping over the edge to get in and out.
People with arthritis like to have warm baths because it soothes their joints. But for many, it's very, very difficult to get in and out because of the different height between the floor and the inside of the bath and the lack of handles. Traditional bath seats that you would buy tend to be ones that take up all of the bath and make it unacceptable for other people in the family to use the bath. The bath step's a very neat solution again because it makes the bath not only accessible for the person with arthritis, but also for other people in the family.
The bath step is designed in a style to fit into a contemporary bathroom. It has a step with a non-slip surface that is roughly the same height as the floor of the bath, meaning people have an even surface to step in and out. It has a tall handle to hold onto while stepping in and out of the bath for extra support.
The key psychological aspects of this is a simple product that looks quite smart and trendy. It doesn't take over the whole bathroom, it doesn't take a lot of space, and it's easy to use. The problem going to the toilet when you've got arthritis is the pain in your hips and your knees and the weak muscles and maybe limited mobility makes it hard to get on and off the toilet. So people with arthritis will often get hold of the sink or the toilet roll holder or anything really that's available to help pull themselves up and lower themselves down again.
Our research showed us that there are many daily challenges faced by people living with arthritis, but we found that using the toilet and getting on and off the toilet was one of those that had the biggest impact on people's lives, and therefore we had the biggest chance to make a difference.
The toilet assist helps because it's a grab rail. It's made safe because you actually stand on a plate and you can use the handles to help yourself lower down and stand up from the toilet, and your body weight is keeping the product stable and safe.
In the process of developing the Toilet Assist, we learned that it's important to strike the right balance between discretion and functionality. We initially thought that we could get away with having a handle just on one side of the toilet, but when testing it, we learned that that required immense body strength to be able to push yourself up from one side. So the final design of the Toilet Assist has a handle on both sides of the toilet.
The way the product works is the person has to stand on the base of the product, and that keeps it stable. You've got your whole body weight on the product, and therefore you can then use the handles to help pull yourself up and lower yourself down.
The Toilet Assist is engineered using products that are hygienic and easy to clean. Our research told us this was very important when designing a product that was used so close to the toilet. The great thing about this product is there's minimal assembly and no tools required to put it together.
Good afternoon to you all. I am in a very privileged position today. I get to talk about Arthur from a consumer point of view and also from a John Lewis partnership perspective. So why the focus on arthritis at John Lewis? Well, we know that today 1 in 6 people suffer from arthritis or arthritic conditions, and that proportion will be reflected in any workforce, including ours. And why Arthur? Arthur for us is a win-win situation. We felt that there was a gap to fill for our partner wellbeing, and Arthur is a perfect fit for our diversity and inclusion initiative. Our partners living and working with arthritis get to feel a little bit closer to normality, and happy partners mean happy customers for John Lewis and Waitrose. We're also committed to supporting our retired partners through the same initiative. As you would expect from John Lewis, though, we take these initiatives incredibly seriously, and as a result, our vetting process is thorough when we look for brands to partner with. We look for something special for the partnership, something with genuine added value. We believe that Arthur's value is in its brand integrity and authenticity, the community and co-creation values, the rigorous product testing, and the profit donation to Versus Arthritis. All of these to us ooze credibility. And we've got high hopes for Arthur. We back brands at John Lewis for the long term, and we believe Arthur is no flash in the pan. We want to see the product range expand and the brand grow, and we look forward to seeing it and doing it with them. We want it to become a permanent fixture for our partners to benefit from. Arthur is a brand that's truly moved me personally. My mum has arthritis, and no doubt it's going to move all of our partners too. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. I'm going to hand back to Bobby because there's going to be a question and answer session now.
That's great, Stacey. Super to hear from you in terms of how the partnership, John Lewis partnership, is considering and making the choice to work with Arthur. Thank you very much for supporting the event today. So we're just moving, as Stacey says, moving into a question and answer session because we feel like half an hour is long enough to sit and listen to us. We want to give the opportunity to ask questions, and I can see you've been kind enough to ask me a couple of questions already, so I can see, you know, so what we'll try and do is we'll try and Harry, our marketing manager, is moderating the questions, so we'll try and distribute them to the people that are best suited to answer them. So the first question that I can see is, are your products eligible for VAT exemption? Now I can say that all of the Arthur products and the majority of the Love by Arthur products are eligible for VAT relief. What that means is you don't pay the VAT on those purchases should you be living with a condition of arthritis. So in arthur.com, that's accessible through the checkout. So it's a very straightforward process. So you can, you don't have to claim the money back from us as such. You can literally buy the product VAT free if you qualify, let's say. So I can see another question there for me. What products will Arthur be making in the future? It's a really tricky question for us to answer. You know, where Adam and Emily and the sort of product development team really start is the needs of people living with arthritis. So working with you know, both healthcare professionals and people living with arthritis, and trying to profile which needs are going to have the biggest impact or address the broadest number of people. So we're moving now from our initial launch products into another phase of product development. So no sooner has Adam launched a number of products over the next few hours as he's working on the next cycle. So there's a whole range of products that we expect to be delivering to the market throughout 2021. How and where do you involve people with arthritis in your process? So, we involve people in a number of touch points. So we do gather a lot of data using a sort of reach out marketing activity, just answering and asking questions, as it were. But we, probably the most, critical part of our engagement with people with arthritis is our changemaker community. So that's 300 people either living with arthritis or a healthcare professional who essentially act as our critical friends. And what they do is they sort of take our ideas, and it can be ideas ranging in terms of the product discussion that we touched on a second ago, but it also can be the language we use. It can be our brand, which was, engaged with our change makers in the, when we initially signed it off. It can be how we would approach an event like this. Pretty much everything we do strategically as a business is checked in with our changemaker community. So I hope that answers that question. I can see a question here from the US. I would love to, and it's really a specific product-based business, Grace Enable. We would love to engage in a discussion. The best way to engage is really to send us an email to info@arthur.com, and Emily, who looks after our Love by Arthur range, she'll engage in a detailed conversation with you. But thanks for reaching out. I appreciate that, Sarah. The toilet assist and the bath step aren't on the website yet. When will they be available? So they will appear on the website towards the end of October. We just want to make sure that the finished production units are what we represent on the site. So just a couple of weeks to wait for those, but very soon. Thanks for the question, Alison. So Sarah's asking, where are your current products manufactured? I can say that all of the Arthur branded products are manufactured no more than 30 miles from our distribution centre in the West Midlands. So all of the Arthur branded products and the majority of the Love by Arthur branded Love by Arthur products are UK manufactured. If not, some of the Love by Arthur products are Western Europe. Question there for Karin.
Yes, thank you. I can see Tara's asked, Arthur's been 3 years in the making. What level of investment's been required to get it where it is today, launched with 5 products in the range? Actually, it's been a really, really long process, and Arthur is the fruit of that, because in Versus Arthritis, we really seek to support people with arthritis in any possible way. And it is both a way for us to get our investment back and then some, so that we can actually use it to provide services and support for people with arthritis over a sort of medium term period. But it is also a way of actually increasing the availability and access to these types of products that people have found it really, really difficult to access in the market as of yet. So what level of investment has been required? It is a social venture, and all of the potential profits in the future will be going back into Versus Arthritis. I'm not going to go into exactly how much has been invested, but it is also a very small team. It is a very dedicated and passionate team. So it isn't the case that we have huge manufacturing facilities. Bobby and his team have really set this up in a smart and flexible way, using agile thinking and a way of running the business that will benefit all of us without incurring too much infrastructure cost, if that's the concern. The investments in Arthur are being approved through the Arthur board and the main shareholder, the only shareholder, Versus Arthritis. So there's really good corporate governance on that as well. If there's any questions around that, I'd be delighted to answer it. But yeah, we're very much looking forward to seeing how this all goes. Thank you.
I see another question for me about will there be opportunities to get involved with product testing in the future? Absolutely. You can either reach us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group for changemakers, or you could send a note to info@arthur.com, and it will be Ellen, our customer champion, that will engage you initially in that opportunity. Absolutely, we'd love to hear from anyone interested in testing our products.
And then I can see a question for me there. It says, will products be sold in John Lewis? At the moment, that's not on the plan, but we are measuring the success with our partner launch, which just happened last week, to then find out whether or not the business will be able to take them forward in their product range. There's quite a lot of change going on within the partnership just now. I'm sure you may have read it in the news. So it's something that we would like to take to the business to sell out to consumers, but that depends on whether Bobby would let us have that or not, or whether everything has to be through the Arthur website, which is the place to be to get these products at the moment.
Maybe I can answer that question, Robin. You're asking whether it's a social enterprise or a full-on commercial business model. It is a social venture. All of the profits go back to support further product development to increase impacts on people living, positive impacts for people living with arthritis, and all the profits go back to the charity Versus Arthritis. So there's no one's getting fat or rich in this sense. It is all about improving the provision of products and services to the community that we're talking to. I hope that answers the question, Robin.
There's a question coming here. There's a question coming here for me. What advice would you give to charity who are considering a similar venture? The advice I would give, and I'm by no means particularly qualified to give it, but is to really think about what your objectives are. What are you trying to achieve? I think it needs to be really clear that it matches what you are trying to achieve as a charity, both in terms of your statutes and obviously the spirit of what you're doing, so that it has a venture, if you start a similar venture, really has an opportunity to support what you're trying to achieve, rather than being mainly thought of as a financial support for the organization. I think that's really important. And what I would also say is that it needs to have a clear market requirement. So what we worked a lot with, as I mentioned before, and as Bobby and others have talked about as well, is to make sure that this is really insight driven from people with arthritis. They want to see these products being sold in one destination. And we did a lot of testing in the market to see that this is actually an unmet need. It's something that people are missing, and we can really help them with that. It is a sometimes tricky way to go, but you really do need to make sure that there is demand by the right sort of people to the right volumes and prices that you can actually sell what you're trying to do if it's a product venture. So it can be tricky, but stay true to your objectives and make sure that you have really good market research among the people you're trying to serve would be my advice. Thank you. Another one for me, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe we two different answers to this, Karin. So, you know, I'd like to answer from an Arthur point of view that question, Tara, initially, if that's okay. What's been the biggest challenge learning to get Arthur off the ground? I'd say probably the biggest challenge we've had is actually really managing that sort of, you know, extension of the furniture of people's homes and being functionally useful for people. and no more so than with the toilet riser that you saw Adam talking to on the video there. You know, actually getting that product realized. I know Adam and the team have worked tremendously hard on finding a way to manufacture that product just because of the size of it and the design challenge. So I would say that's probably from an operational point of view, that's been the trickiest thing, and actually is what the reason why working with UK-based designers and a UK manufacturing capability has enabled us to sort of, you know, incrementally sort of work on that challenge, as it were. But that may not be directed at the question you've asked. So I'll maybe pass on now to Karin if you know, if there's anything in her mind in terms of the most difficult to get Arthur going.
It feels like at the same time it's been a long journey, and we're really excited to be here. It's also actually our launch today, and we're just getting going, so I'm sure there will be challenges ahead. But for Versus Arthritis, I think making sure that we do this in an appropriate way, and again keep our focus on people with arthritis, serving them to the best of our abilities, and making sure that we can stay true to our charitable objectives at the same time as, you know, we are selling products through Arthur on a site, and making sure that we actually square that circle and get the social venture structure right, the governance and everything. But I think the exciting challenges are the ones that Bobby talked about when it comes to products and customer feedback and insights. And that's really an operational challenge, because we knew this was right. We heard from people with arthritis that this was something they really wanted. So for us, that wasn't so much of a challenge. Thank you.
Thanks, Karin. I see a question here from Phil. Bobby, what does success look like for Arthur? You know, there's many ways of viewing success, but from my perspective, you know, I want us to stick to, you know, those two axes, which is the number of people we're able to positively impact in terms of their everyday lives through the products and services that we develop. And success for me is in the over 500,000 people over the next sort of 3 or 4 years that we've been able to do that with. And secondarily, you know, I've also made a promise to Versus Arthritis that we will provide a positive income to the charity going forward, which means that we need to be, you know, making money and delivering a return on that side. Again, you know, we are a fuel for the revenue stream for Versus Arthritis going forward, so they can carry on with the great work. So I'd say in a broad sense, success for me looks in those two directions. And I see another question there saying, what's the ambition for Arthur longer term? What will it return to Versus Arthritis? How much impact will it have for people? I think that's probably crossing over the answer that I've just given. So over 500,000 impacts. I mean, 3 years out is reasonably long term in today's sort of market. And how many people we impact in terms of money. Let's just say it needs to be tangible and relevant to Versus Arthritis as part of its revenue strategy in order to contribute to the great stuff they're doing ongoing. So that's probably as much as I could say specifically on that one. There's another longer question here, Karin. So thank you for saying it's amazing. Appreciate that feedback, Hannah. Please could you go over or explain how Arthur is managed in relation to Versus Arthritis? Is it a separate registered company or trading arm of the charity? Does powered by mean initial investment came from the charity? Thank you.
Yes, you want me to take that one to start with?
Please.
Or?
Yeah,
yes.
Please go for it. Yeah.
Yes. Versus Arthritis initiated Arthur. It is a fully owned, we're the only shareholder subsidiary of Versus Arthritis, is a separate company, so that it can be run on commercial principles, if you will, and attract the right type of talent for a small, quickly growing company that's really looking at customer user experience, almost like, not quite like a startup, but like a very young, ambitious, brave company, which we're very, very keen that we had a chance to really do that in the best possible way. And does Powered by mean initial investment came from the charity? Yes, absolutely, it does, because we had such strong data that this was something that people really wanted us to get into. And also there was the unmet need in the market. So yes, the initial investment, the shares and loans come from the charity. Thank you.
Thanks, Karin. I'd say it's a really, looking at the relationship from an Arthur point of view, it's a really interesting and special relationship, in the sense that we want to work as collaboratively as we can with the Versus Arthritis team, so that we don't distract their mission, but we get all the insights that are really valuable and fuel us. And absolutely, we consider ourselves part of the group, of the Versus Arthritis group, but with a very specific mission around impacts and revenue generation. Nick, you've asked me a question. It's wonderful to hear people speak with such passion about this project. How can we help spread the word and help make people more aware of the brand? Thanks so much for your interest, Nick, on that side. Turning up here is a great first step. Maybe if we could take your details and you could email info@arthur.com. We'd like to work with anyone who can collaborate in terms of sharing our message to the market. I did see a message earlier on come up on the board, which isn't there, or a question that isn't there now, which was around whether or not we'd be interested. I think it was somebody from Sheffield, actually. It bobbed up and it sort of disappeared. I just feel bad if we don't address that question. So I think you were asking whether we'd be open to visit different sites around the country, engage with the communities and understand what the needs are locally. Short answer is absolutely. Obviously, we're living in a very strange moment in terms of getting around and physically being able to meet people, but definitely our will is there. We want to, first of all, we've had tons of interest internationally, but we are so keen to prioritize making sure it's people in the UK that we serve with our Arthur proposition. So absolutely keen to do some sort of roadshow when the time is right. If not, very happy to engage in some form of digital activity. We've already done some in Wales and some other parts of the nation. So really keen to look at that. Whoever asked me that question, forgive me for not having your name to hand. Robert's asked me a question. Lots of arthritis sufferers have skills that could be helpful to make Arthur thrive. What type of support skills would be most useful to you? You know what, Robert? It is really that real live insight coming from people living with arthritis point of view. So the best way of engaging is through our changemaker community that I touched on, and how that community will engage with people and groups going forward will evolve as the business sort of goes through different questions and challenges and stuff. So that I mentioned earlier the next sort of product development sprint. All of that needs to be informed by people living with arthritis. So we're launching 4 Arthur branded products now, and a ton of Loved by Arthur products. We're looking to launch 6 Arthur branded products inside the first couple of quarters of 2021, and then again some more Loved by Arthur products. So we need your insights and your help to help fuel that analysis and make sure we're launching to market products that actually are super relevant for people with arthritis.
Thank you for everyone for joining us. It's been a pleasure having to host this evening, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Before you go, there are a couple of things. I wanted to say a very big thank you to Bobby and his team. They've done an amazing job in the last few months, getting this off the ground, getting these products to market in what's probably been one of the most difficult times to do this. everything's been disrupted, things have been difficult, a lot of it's been done virtually, and it's a real tribute to their sort of tenacity and enthusiasm that we've actually got to where we are today. So a huge thank you to them. I'd also like to remind you that please tune into the Ideal World TV at 7:30 this evening. There's a special live launch day show with a one-day only discount. And Arthur's customer champion, Ellen, will be showcasing the Arthur car doormate, the UU long hot water bottle, Recall nail pads, G-Hold tablet and phone holder, and the Kiwi and key turner. If you're inspired by, like I am, by all of this, you can head to their website and the channel is shown on the screen. You can find the link in the menu section too. Hope you enjoy our products. Good night, and have a comfortable life and an easier life. Thank you.